Too much? Yes.
When you were talking about the kind of confidence you have with love that doesn't have conditions or judging, is that, I'm thinking it might be the same thing as a strong commitment? Or what would be the distinction between a strong commitment that you get from that kind of, or when you have that kind of love, as well as the strong confidence?
Yeah, you can have strong commitment, but strong commitment can be very much a pressure, social, religious pressure. You know, it doesn't necessarily means that you have open-hearted or you more have enlightened quality of commitment. You know, like something very clear, very lively kind of commitment, but it's more rather that, okay, you know, we have agreed. We have a signature signed. So, I mean, those are the things, you know, like in life, it's very much like there's something that more, this is what we were saying, expectations and things like that. There are a lot of qualities which blocks the enlightened action. Sometimes, of course, it doesn't mean we don't do things in our life. We can do things in our life, a lot of things. Basically, another example will be, you know, how active you can be in your life. One can be very active in one's life. Do you have to be exhausted? No. That's another good example of it. I think it's a good example of it will be that I'm not talking about enlightened in a sense like really enlightened. I'm talking about more in even this kind of ordinary enlightenment, okay, things that you know, one can be very active. But do you have to be exhausted with your actions? No. Why? Because you work with the openness, you work with the clarity, and you know when to work and you know when to stop. You know, like for example, if we have one problem, you can think about that problem for 24 hours, and usually we do. That's not very enlightened action. But you can think about that problem for half an hour. That's okay. So it's like a constantly being caught up with or drained by a situation. We become basically victims of many situations in our life. One event, but it just sucks your energy 24 hours. I was just in New Mexico down there, and I visited 2 hospitals, and 2 cancer hospitals, and one of the places they call winning circles, and so basically this survivals a group of people there, and you know, I was trying to teach them 9 breathing exercise, and then I don't know what to say so much because they were completely new in meditation and topics, and they don't know much. So one thing came to me to tell them, which I thought was very good somehow to everybody can think that way, is that, you know, when your fear manifests, when your anxiety manifests, when you doubt, think about this. You don't have to spend hours in that situation. Just that thing. When you're feeling comfortable with your sickness, but you don't have to sit for hours, or you don't have to sit for a whole night with that thought, whole day with that thought, whole week with that thought. We don't. Of course, it's not easy when you're challenged, but that is the work you have to do. You have to tell yourself, I don't have to sit for hours in that thought. I can have a thought. I mean, I cannot not help myself not to have a thought because it's very strong. You're facing death. But when you recognize that you don't have to sit for whole night, then you do the practice. You do the 9 breathing, you do the Ца-Lung, you practice. Of course, when you're doing the first time practice, you always question, will this practice work? Maybe it will not work. Maybe it will work. You just talk within yourself like that, but you give a chance. And many people then they when they're trying to give a chance, and they will come up and say, it really helped. Situations like that. So that something energetically release, or something is easier to energetically release than psychologically making decision to not think about it. That makes sense? Psychologically say, I don't want to think about the problem. You're still thinking about it. I don't want to think tomorrow, but you're thinking now. We talk like that. It's very hard to cut that and just be clear and cut that stuff. But energetically, if you know energetically how to work with that, it's much easier. Even it gives you hope when you shift the focus toward more like energetic sense, then mind kind of get confused. I don't know what to do now. The whole attention went to somewhere else. Mind is kind of confused and a little free. Things like that. So